Hello everybody, welcome back to the Panel by Panel Comics YouTube channel with me, your host Jay. Today is my top 10 comics coming out for the week of July 22nd, 2026. But before we get into my top 10, here are 4 notable comic books also coming out that didn't quite make my top 10, but are some good notable mentions. Starting off first, we have Green Lantern, issue number 37. A new one-shot written by Chris Claremont, Gambit Wanted, issue 1. Action Comics 1100, special anniversary issue. And then Something is Killing the Children, issue 49. We are 1 issue away from the I guess pretty big milestone of 50 issues for that series. I've never read a single issue of it, but I'm sure I'll get around to it eventually. But kicking off the top 10, before we actually do that, guys, if you are new to the channel, please hit that like button and the subscribe button, as well as we are nearly to 110 subscribers. Almost getting to my goal of 150. That's my goal by my birthday, is to get to there. We'll see if that can happen. My birthday is August 28th, so please make that happen. But starting off now with the top 10, we have X-Men The Hellfire Murder, issue number 1. This is 56 pages for $8. Written by the pairs of all the X-Men writers essentially writing a title. You have Gail Simone, Jed MacKay, Erica Schultz, Saladin Ahmed, and Eve L. Ewing, as well as all the artists for those books as well. A whole bunch of them. Aaron Cooter, Joel Jones, Luciano Vecchio, Federica Mancini, Tony S. Daniel, Corey Smith, and then the inkers and colorists and letterers for those titles as well. This is Homicide at the Hellfire Gala. When an iconic mutant power player is murdered at the Hellfire Gala, hosted by Sebastian Shaw, it falls to Wolverine and Jubilee to solve a locked room mystery that has dire consequences for all mutant kind. Everyone is a suspect and the party isn't over yet. I was intrigued. One, it's apparently a huge power player that's going to die in this issue. Pretty important. Even though I haven't read a whole lot of X-Men, this definitely sounds enticing. As well as Jubilee and Wolverine being the main characters. Probably my 2 favorite X-Men if I'm really being honest. So I can't wait to get into it, and that's why it comes in at number 10. Even though it is $8, 56 pages definitely helps. Coming in at number 9, the Energon Universe book Void Rivals, issue number 32. 32 pages for $4. We're going back to Darok and Salila in this issue, as in the aftermath of the Quintesson War, Darok and Salaya, I'm pretty sure it's Salila, Salila, are on the run and find themselves lost together with danger looming all around. We're also going to get Pythona in this issue, as well as Rom. Robert Kirkman is the writer. Connor Hughes is the artist for this title. And it's been kind of slipping and it's been pretty inconsistent, but when Darok and Salila are together in an issue of Void Rivals, that is when this book is at its best. That's going to happen in this issue, so that's kind of why I'm really looking forward to it. Plus, I really do like the world that Robert Kirkman is starting to build in the Energon universe. I think Void Rivals and G.I. Joe are in a really good spot. Kind of need Transformers to get back to what it once was with Daniel Warren Johnson. Don't know if it can get there, but we'll see. Coming in at number 8, we have Odin, issue number 3, 32 pages for $4. This is part 3 of 8 of this miniseries. I believe it's an 8-issue mini, written by James Tynion IV and Margaret Bennett, with the artist being Leticia Candonici. This is Adela chasing a story like this has been for the first 2 issues. She's the writer that has kind of infiltrated this white supremacist group, and Austin sought his great white destiny, the leader of this group. Tanner just wanted to get laid. Yes, that's true. And every member of this doomed expedition set out with a purpose in mind. And everyone is going to discover that the old gods of the woods care not at all for their desires. They have lusts of their own. They're getting deeper and deeper into this society of monsters that they have kind of gotten themselves into. They're still in the middle of nowhere with no hope in sight. How is Adela going to get out of this? I don't know, but James Tynion, probably the best horror writer on the planet right now. He's doing a great job with this book. If you like the kind of mythological side of comic books, this is definitely a good book for you. Highly recommend. And James Tynion is just one of the best at what he does. Coming in at number 7, we have The Amazing Spider-Man issue 33, 32 pages for $5. Legacy numbering 997. Joe Kelly is the writer on this issue, with Ed McGuinness doing the penciling. When an old foe resurfaces, Spider-Man gets an assist from damage control. Don't they usually clean up after the fight? Well, learn more about Peter's mystery cousin as well on this issue on the road to ASM 1000 coming in September. Can't wait for that to happen, but Spider-Man's kind of just been stalling up until that 1000th issue. It feels like there's no true storytelling going on right now. It's kind of Peter just going on and on about his business, trying to find out stuff about his cousin, trying to find out what his role is right now in society, trying to be the best version of himself possible for Aunt May, who's going through a lot after potentially, well, her kid now resurfacing in the ASM world. And it's kind of all over the place with this title, if I'm truly being honest. I'm just sticking around because it's Spider-Man, and I'm always going to pick up a Spider-Man book because he's one of my favorite in comics. I mean, he's one of my favorite characters, let's be real. But it comes in at number 7 in my top 10. Coming in at number 6, we have the finale to the Narcos series, issue 5. This is 32 pages for $5. Written by Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard does the artist. This pair, probably the best. I mean, they are so good at what they do with their little plastic verse creations that they always do. But Marcus believes he finally knows who the true killer is. Now he's just setting up the trap. But with his narcolepsy ready to drop on him when the tension spikes, can Marcus stay conscious long enough to survive being the bait? It's basically Marcus going up against the killer that we know for sure who it was now that killed his love interest. I believe her name was Stephanie. All the way back in the first issue, in the first handful of pages, he knows who the killer is now. Now he's just got to try to set up the trap to get him to, one, admit it, find the evidence, and then get him fully booked and incarcerated. Interesting to see how that's going to go down here in issue number 5 of Narco. And kicking off the top 5, we have Absolute Superman. This is issue number 21, 32 pages for $5. The unbelievable finale of Reign of the Superman, the final battle with King Shazam. Reign of the Superman begins here, but which Superman will it be? Who's going to come out on top between Shazam or Superman? When I say Shazam, that's really Black Adam, but they call him King Shazam in the Absolute Universe. Jason Aaron is the writer. Rafa Sandoval is doing the art of this issue. It's been an all right series art for me. If you appreciate the action, this is definitely a great book and a great art for you. Personally, I want to see some more story being told through Kal-El, and we just haven't gotten that in such a long time. I just want to go back to learning about Superman, learning about what he's been doing since he arrived on Earth, and just get more in depth with the true person of Kal-El. But it comes in at number 5, and coming in at number 4, we have American Caper, issue number 9, 32 pages for $5, written by Dan Houser and Laszlo, and the penciler is David Lapham. One of my favorite artists right now. He also does The Hab, which is a really good book that I highly recommend you guys pick up by Bad Idea. But here in American Caper, issue 9, Marty is going to host an action-packed cowboy cosplay weekend while Marnie gets into it with the FBI, and Orson finally pulls the trigger. Orson is the Mormon husband next door that has been murdering people for a boss that is essentially telling him, if you don't do this, God's going to think that you're a terrible person and you're not going to make it to the gates of heaven. And then Marnie is, of course, the terrible wife of William, who is kind of the main character in this issue, but I don't know. This is an all-around storytelling book trying to shape its own world. An American Caper, written by Dan Houser, is probably my favorite ongoing right now for all of independent comic books. It's just so good. I love the world that they're trying to tell, and I really hope that y'all are enjoying it as well. But this is also going to be from Yoga Interrupted to the Battle of Fallujah with odd hallucinations and butlers doing burpees. It's just an ordinary week in Verona, Wyoming. I also like that. It takes place in a random city in the most random state possible, Verona, Wyoming. I think that's really cool. That's why it comes in at number 4. Highly recommend you guys get that. Kicking off the top 3, we have Superman. This is issue number 40. The battle ultimately between Superboy Prime and Manchester Black for the soul of DC Comics. This is 32 pages for $5, legacy numbering 883, written by the great Joshua Williamson, and the art is done by Dan Mora. This is also going to be Manchester Black demanding to be resurrected and thinks Superboy Prime knows how to give him his life back. But it's more than just that. Manchester Black wants to escape the world of comics and come to our world, as in the DC universe. It's meta versus meta. If Prime survives, he will still have to deal with the members of the Super family who are not happy he wants to be Superman. This all builds up to next month's Superman blockbuster summer story, which is the Kingdom of Zod event coming out starting next month with Supergirl. So if you're looking for your Superman summer story, that's what it's going to be. But this has been a fantastic arc. Superboy Prime might be my favorite DC character being written right now. I think he's just so fantastic, so goofy, so humorous, but you can really feel for the character. He wants to do better, but nobody's giving him a chance. And Manchester Black's trying to take advantage of him. There's also Star Flame, I want to say her name is. She's going to be pretty important into this issue. She goes by the name of Rebecca Carstairs. That's actually Witchfire, sorry. And I've kind of liked their romance, bouncing off each other. I think that's been a really intriguing part of this story arc from Joshua Williamson. Superman number 40, highly recommend you guys picking that up. But it is not in my top 2. Coming in at number 2, we have Absolute Wonder Woman, issue number 22, 32 pages for $5, written by Kelly Thompson. Still no Hayden Sherman on the artwork. This is going to be Dylan Snook doing the artwork for this arc as a whole, I believe. This is a divine threat, hits home for Diana. Diana and Cersei work together against an impossible mythological force trying to steal a win from the jaws of defeat. Elsewhere, a growing threat for Diana makes an evolutionary leap forward. Can't wait to see what that leap forward is going to be. Kelly Thompson has absolutely been killing it with this Absolute Wonder Woman title, and I've appreciated it because it's kind of got me to get back into Wonder Woman, because what's happening to her in the mainline universe, Tom King is absolutely killing the character. They need to get a new creative team on that. Honestly, make Kelly Thompson, or don't make her, of course, but tell her or have her go do the mainline Wonder Woman. I would love to see that potentially happen, or just give a chance to somebody else. I don't think Tom King is doing a good job with the mainline Wonder Woman title, but Kelly Thompson absolutely killing it with the Wonder Woman title in the Absolute line. But it does not come in at issue or as number 1. Instead, coming in at number 1 in my top 10 is an issue 1. It is Terminal issue 1, written by Robert Kirkman. Art is going to be done by Andy Kubert, as well as Joe Casey as a writer on this title. This is the new superhero universe that Robert Kirkman is creating with Joe Casey, Kubert, David Finch. There's somebody else that I'm forgetting. One of the a huge artist, Arthur Adams, the other artist on this title. Don't know how many total there are going to be, but oh, it literally says it right here. The dream team of Robert Kirkman, Joe Casey, Andy Kubert, David Finch, and Arthur Adams. There is a secret war being waged across the world by two violent forces with superhuman abilities who blur the lines between good and evil. When Marilyn Howes search for her missing sister Alessandra puts her in the center of this conflict, she'll learn that the power to save the world comes from unlocking your genetic code and giving up everything you thought you knew about yourself if you survive the experience. Perfect for fans of Invincible and X-Men. Nothing can prepare you for the most violent and unpredictable superhero series of the year. It is 40 pages for $5. And it's a Robert Kirkman new world that it seems that he's put a ton of time into, because he's been hyping it up. It's been hyped for the longest time. Joe Casey also going to be there to help him. Andy Kubert, David Finch, and Arthur Adams, some of the best artists in comic books right now. I can't wait to see how that goes down. Can't wait for it to come out. But I'll see you guys on Wednesday for New Comic Book Day. Remember, if you made it all the way here, please hit that like button and subscribe as well. You might as well if you made it through the entire video. But remember to keep reading those comics panel by panel. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day.